Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First off, it's free. I'm not joking, you guys. The Anchor app, it is free to use. Second, there's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now that's awesome, isn't it? Third, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, you guys, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and so many more platforms. Fourth, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum relationship. Now, is that awesome, you guys, or what? That's just terrific. And finally, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So I have another podcast with Anchor, and I'm just loving Anchor so much. I love it. It's so very easy to use, guys. So why don't you download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. So on today's video, I am going to be talking about my opinion on why are our Black students not learning their history in schools. So let me just hop right into this. So I recently discussed this on my podcast, Future Education Talk, where let me tell you guys, I just went all in on this episode. I really did. I went all in. So check it out. Check it out to hear my thoughts on what I said on Future Education Talk. Because I just wanted to, this topic right here, and it's, oh my gosh. So let me just hop right into it, because in today's video, I'm going to be going all in as well. But not like how I did on Future Education Talk, because on there, I cannot say the words that I want to, because that is a education podcast, and I want to be friendly, I want to be polite, I want to use good language on there, because that is helping spreading some good information out to everyone that listens to our podcast. So, if you want to hear me, what I really want to say, please continue watching this video here. So, because I'm going to get really all in. So, let's just hop right into it, like I said. So, why are our Black students not learning their history in school? Just why? And I just don't get it at all. I really don't. I really don't understand why so many of our Black students today in schools, they're just not learning their history in schools, period. Now, I'm not just talking about just during the month of February, which is Black History Month. I'm talking about year round, including the February, the Black History Month. I'm including that. I'm including all year round, you guys, all year round. They should be learning their history in schools because it is important to learn about their ancestors and about us, about our information. That's what I feel. I truly feel that. Now, I will tell you guys this, that when I was in school, back in middle and high school, I was so starved, STARVED, I was so starved to death about not learning the information about who I really am. Now, let me just say this. I know you can get to learn this at home. Let your parents do this. But for me, during that particular time in middle school and in high school, I was just so starved for information about who I really am. Where did I come from? Why are we so important? Black people. Why are we so important in society? And I know that you could do this, learn about who you really are. There's lots of ways you could do this, online with Ancestry, 23 and Me. There's lots of resources. But I just want, in school, to learn, who I really am. I just wanted that. I just really do. And I ache to hear so many stories about people who look like me, or see the names of Black scholars, either in math or science, or even to talk about Africa. But, without talking about poverty and slavery. So that just ached me to death, of wanting to hear stories about that. And I know that in February, some teachers quite do that, but I just don't feel it's enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry, it's just not, because this needs to be a year-round thing. Okay, here's what I don't get. People. Why do we learn about all the stuff in history, about the Civil War, all of that good stuff? Why do we not even talk about us? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's just amazed me, you guys, you do not understand. You just really don't. Wow. I'm just really thinking about it, honestly, because we learn about, the Civil War, President Lincoln, everything that happened, the Great Depression, everything, the New Deal, everything that happens in history. But why not talk about us? Black people. How did we start it out? How do we came to be? Why are we so important? Where we are today, how are we doing? I just want to learn that in school. And I'm being honest. I am being completely honest. If any of my former teachers are watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I have to say this, but it wasn't enough. You didn't teach about that. To me particularly. I'm not going to speak on all of the students, all of the black students that went to my middle and high school. My classmates. I'm not going to speak on their behalf. I'm just speaking on me. Like, it wasn't enough. I wasn't, you guys, you don't understand. I wasn't teach that pertaining to me. I don't know why. I just feel like that. Now, maybe I quite was a little bit, but like I said, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And it's just, oh my gosh. You guys, you do not understand. I keep on saying that in this video. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't. You just don't. You don't understand. And I had this discussion with my friend, Andrew Fred. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't really. I don't. I'm sorry. Like I said, y'all don't know enough information, which I'm gonna explain that in just a few minutes. So, and that's why I feel like today, too many of our black children, they're having this same experience. They're having these same experience. So, why do I think? No, I'm not gonna say I think. I'm gonna do my opinion, you guys. Here's why. Let's see if I use I think or I believe. Well, I'm gonna just say I know. Let me say that. Here's why I know. Here's one of the things that I know that many black students, they're not learning their history in schools today, which is too often. Did you get that? Too often, Africans, they are portrayed in schools as savage, barbaric people. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you guys my opinion. So, too often, students, they are first exposed to black history occurs through the study of slavery. That is the first exposure that students experience black history, which is slavery. All students, black, white, Asians, everybody, they are exposed to that first. The study of slavery. And that's why I said too often Africans, they are portrayed in schools as savage, barbaric people. Because here's why. Those who came to the America, they were lucky. Okay? They were lucky. Because they were like saved from savage, unstable, poverty-stricken Africa. Okay? So there's that right there. But here's come the comparison of it. But the reality is thousands of years of Black history existed before contact with Europe. Okay? That's that. And I feel like I mentioned earlier, I believe. Now, to all the teachers that are watching this right now, all the teachers, including my former teachers, y'all prepare yourself for this, what I'm about to say, because this is what I truly down deep of what I feel. And I just don't know why. But that's what I feel, which is, and this may upset you guys, break your hearts, I'm deeply sorry. But after I say this, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let me know. So too often, and I said this on my podcast as well, too often teachers don't know enough about the history of African civilization to teach to their students accurately. I just don't feel that. I don't. Teachers, y'all do not know quite enough information about the history of African Americans, their civilizations. That's what I feel. Because, like I said earlier, when I was in school, I was so starved for information about who I am. Where did I come from? Or where did all of us come from? Black people. Where do we all come from? How do we came to be? Why are we so important in history? And today, why is that? And to be honest, I didn't get that answer. That's how I deeply feel that teachers, y'all do not know enough information to teach that to us. And to everyone, not just Black students, but to everyone in your classroom, at your school. Y'all just do not know enough information about this. I'm sorry I had to say this, but y'all don't. Y'all really don't. It's just that simple to me. Y'all just don't know enough information about African civilization to teach to y'all students. Which is sad to me. It really is. And my neck is about to start really hurting bad, but it'd be fine. But anyways, that's how I feel. That's how I deeply feel. Now, continuing on, Black scholars like you have like Carter G. Woodson and W.E.B. Du Bois. Okay, I believe I said that correctly. They realized the only way to liberate Black Americans from shame about our origin will be to educate ourselves about who we truly are. Okay, I get that. Okay. Now, teaching the history of African civilization increases everyone's accurate understanding of world history. So, in doing so, by doing so, Black people's rightful place as equal actors today in history, it kind of becomes visible. It just whoosh. It's gone. It's visible. You vanish. You can't quite see it. You can't quite see the information, the stuff. Does that kind of make sense? Kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know what to y'all. It's gone. You're trying to like pick up the right pieces up. So that's right there. Now I learned this right here, that Carter G. Woodson, he intended Black History Week, which it later becomes Black History Month. So he did this to teach the history of Black people, to teach us, everyone, to teach the history of Black history, to teach the history of Black people in our totality. Okay? Not just in America, but in totality, everywhere. Okay? So, but this, it has taken incredible amounts of work by Pan-African scholars to change, enrich, Eurocentral mindsets. But for much of the 20th century, I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about the 20th century, scholars, they debated what should have been obvious. Of course, what should have been obvious, that ancient Egypt was an African civilization. Did y'all know that? It is. That ancient Egypt was an African civilization. And yet, even today, people, even today, Hollywood movies, they continue, Hollywood movies, I said movies, that's including more than one, they continue to depict the Egyptian as European and or even non-black. Um so there you have it right there. There you have it right there. Now that was one of what I know that too many black students are not learning the history, which is Africans, they are portrayed in schools as savage, barbaric people. Okay? Now that just again. We need to teach our students. The history all year long. We gotta teach our history. We gotta teach the history of black people to our black students all year round. Not just in February. That just quite when it's Black History Month. That's when here's what I feel. Here's what I deeply feel. Okay? Everyone's may not agree with me on here, but I don't care. This is my show, so I'm gonna say it. I feel that and I'm talking about in schools. Well, yeah, that's what I'm mainly talking about. And what I be singing on online. So the only time that people mention about us, black people, the history of us, is only in February, which is Black History Month. You do that all month long, then after the last day, going to the next month, whoosh, over with, like nothing happens. Like nothing didn't happen. Then here we come back around again. August, here we come back around again. You have August, no. September, no. October, no. November, no. December, no. January, no. February, yaha! There we go. Black History Month, let's teach, all that we know about, the importance of it, why it inspires us, the history of it. Then, we celebrate. Then here comes March. You're just moving on. You're just moving on, which that really obsess the hell out of me. It just does, because I just don't understand why we just only want to do this only for February, Black History Month, which we should be all doing 365 days all year long. All year long, people. Why are we just doing it only in February? Why? Why are we doing it? We got to stop this. We got to stop this. It should not only be celebrated during the month of February. Black History, teaching that. We should do it all year long, people, so people will know about this. That's why our students, they don't know, our black students, that's why they don't know quite anything enough about it, because we're just only doing it in February, which we should be doing all year long. Like, what kind of a mess is that? What the hell? What the hell? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I know I'm getting all heated up, you guys. I'm just speaking my mind because only in February. Why are we just doing it only in February? It should be celebrated all year long. All year long. And I just don't get it. That bugs me to death. It bugs me to death. Okay. So let me get back into this. Black history, Black history is celebrated, but it should be taught in schools. So Black History Month should not begin. Listen to this, you guys. This quote right here from Sean King. Black History Month should not begin and end with lessons of American slavery. It should not. It should not. I love this quote right here. It should not. Now, you have the reputation of blacks in America within the students' textbooks, and the media has not truly reflected our race positively. Okay, our ancestors are often portrayed as either servants or slaves. That's what they are portrayed as. That's it. That's what they are portrayed as. So now, those who fought against the injustice experienced by black citizens were labeled as rebels. Okay, they was labeled as rebels. Because they fought for what, okay, and trying to redefining black history. This will help the character development of all races, of trying to redefine black history. So that's one. Now, listen to what I'm about to say here, because this is important. This is important here. Okay, and I believe I spoke on this earlier. Slavery is not the only part of black history that should be highlighted in America. Did you hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. I said slavery is not the only part of black history that should be highlighted in America. It should not. I don't understand why all the time people talk about slavery. Okay, what else? There's more to that than just slavery, people. There's more to that. So speak on that. Not just slavery, because there's more. There's more. It's not. Slavery is not just the only thing that should be highlighted. Excuse me. It should be other things, people. Other things. Now, I believe here that black students, they will perform better in math and science if they were taught the history of Black Wall Street, of Black Wall Street, or about the math formula. And science use build pyramids. Now the math formula, there's lots of things. You have like math calculations. You have like Katherine Johnson. That's one that comes into my mind. Katherine Johnson. She worked with NASA. And she used a lot of math calculations. So that's one that I could think of. And there are so many others. Many others. But Katherine Johnson, that just came up into my head. And I admire her so much. So that's one that you can do. Now the depiction of blacks in America history, it impacts the character of black children, black students, who don't get to see like positive image of black Americans. They quite only see, only the negative images, the negative parts of it. So that's what I feel right there. And it's quite also important that the success of black students is affirmed in schools. Okay, that's what I believe. We should, success, or what I'm trying to say here. We should, it's just important to bring out the success of our black students in schools, because that will really help them a lot. Now, teaching black history is a resource to schools implementing character education. Now, character and culture, they go hand in hand together, okay? They go hand in hand together. And black history is like a game, is a game changer, okay? It's a game changer for improving our students, improving our black students' discipline. Okay, is just very important. Teaching them about character and teaching them about culture and all the other things. Now, experience and exposure, exposure, same difference. Through teaching black history, it would give them, our black students, it will give them many options towards success into the future, whatever they do, that may not know that even existed. Okay, so the constant depiction of our black race, of black American race, the depiction of this is violence. um, thugs and criminals. Also impacts the school to prison pipeline. So that's the constant depiction of our black race. Now, many advocates, many advocates, if advocates, advocates, many of them, they describe the school to prison pipeline as a way to continue the enslavement of blacks. So that's what that means, the school to prison pipeline. They want to continue with this, the enslavement of blacks in schools. And I'm thinking of this now. Restorative justice, I did an episode on this back last season on Future Educator Talk. Restorative justice, and like I said in that episode, this is the best practice in schools because this will help to build relationship. And I also did an episode on that as well, of building relationships. But this will help to build relationships with law enforcement and also the youth. So it's just great. I believe it is a great restorative justice. It is a great practice. Like I said in that episode, I will be using that in my school, trying to help out the best I can with that, because I just think that it is the best practice to be implemented in all schools. It should be. So, and this, it positively reinforces rules and teaches youth how to become model citizens. So, really great. Really, really great. So that's what I feel. That's why I know about this information to you guys, about why our black students, they are not learning their history in schools today, which they should be. So that, there you go. There you have it right there. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode here, this video here. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below of why so many of our black students, they are just not learning their history in schools. And please tell me why, because I would like to know y'all opinions. I would definitely like to know. And what I was wrong about. Now, this is my opinion, you guys. This is my show. The purpose of this is I am, like I said in the very first episode, I am going, in every video that I upload, it is the 100% me. It is real, honest. Absolutely real, truth, and honest. What comes to my heart and to my mind, I'm spreading out to you guys. I'm sharing it with you all. Because that's how I feel about these particular topics that I talk about, that I discuss. on Future Educators Talk and plugging it into my show, and also other topics that I don't talk about on Future Educators Talk that I find very interesting or very that I need to talk about this. I do that on here. And also with my personal life as well, sharing that with you guys as well. So that's the main purpose of this show, actually. If I really didn't give out a true purpose, that is what this show is all about. That's what this show is all about. So that's it. That's this episode. I hope y'all enjoy. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hello, everyone. Damian Anderson here. If you have a question, concerns about Damian Talks Education, stories to share with me, any feedback to share, reactions to the topics that I talk about, jokes to tell, or someone you will like for me to interview, please let me know by direct messaging me on Instagram and Twitter at Damian Talks EDU, on Facebook at Damian Talks Education. You can email me at educationthoughtspodcast@gmail.com or send in a voice message to me by going to anchor.fm/Damian Talks Education, and make sure you click on the message tab to where you can record your questions into me. Thanks so much.